November 15th, 2015, a group of longtime hunting buddies went into the woods of New York. They had no idea that decision would change their lives forever and get the attention of the FBI. This is the unsolved disappearance of Tom Messick. 82-year-old Tom Messick wasn't just some weekend hunter. He was an 82nd Airborne veteran and had been a survival instructor for years. On that fateful day, he and his friends decided to try a new hunting spot near Lily Pond, a place they hadn't been before. He and his friends got a late start in the day, so to make most of their time, they used a technique called a deer drive. You see, a couple of the hunters would set up near a ridge, about 100 yards apart, and the other hunters would go into the woods to scare the deer and hopefully push them towards the watchers or the ones waiting by the ridge. Tom, being 82 years old and having some health problems, was sat near the ridge in a stationary position. Nothing about this felt particularly dangerous. The hunt lasted for about 3 hours, but something felt off. There were no deer. In fact, no one had seen really any wildlife. Then one of the hunters, about 100 yards away from Tom's position, heard a strange whooshing sound or a snapping sound, but he really didn't think anything of it. When the hunt ended, the group gathered back at their trucks. But Tom wasn't there. They called out his name, no response. They fired their rifles in the air to signal their position, nothing. They called him on the radio and got silence. Something was wrong, but initially they didn't panic. They just set out into the woods to look for him. They went to his last position, he wasn't there. After several hours of searching, they contacted local authorities, and within 24 hours, a massive search was underway. They had helicopters, volunteers, canine units, and even divers scoured the area, but there was nothing. No clothing, no blood, no signs of a struggle. Tom had vanished. On the fourth day, shockingly, the FBI showed up. Now, the FBI doesn't show up in cases like these unless there's potential signs of foul play, but the strange thing is, there was no evidence of anything. Tom was just gone, and not even the dogs could pick up any type of scent. When they tried to follow his scent, it just led them to his last hunting location where he'd been sitting. Tom was no ordinary hunter. He was an expert, and he knew how to handle himself in these type of situations. He knew to sit put if he was lost, and he knew how to signal for help, and yet he was just gone. How does an 82-year-old man disappear without any trace? Was it a medical emergency, and he wandered off? If so, why was he not found? Was he taken by an animal? If that's the case, why was there no blood or signs of a struggle? Or perhaps was there something else in the woods, something strange that was lurking in the darkness? We might never know. What do you think really happened?